Two friends, bound by a shared spirit of exploration, set out on their canoe down the winding expanse of the Danube River. The water shimmered under the bright sun, reflecting the azure sky, and the gentle lapping of the waves against the canoe was a soothing melody. Each stroke of the paddle brought them closer to the promise of peace and solitude, far removed from the clamor of civilization. They laughed and exchanged stories, the sound of their joy mingling with the rustle of leaves and the distant call of birds. As they ventured deeper into the heart of the wilderness, the landscape began to shift. The river narrowed, the banks became steep and overgrown, and the trees loomed larger, their trunks thick and gnarled. The air grew heavy, laden with an inexplicable weight that seemed to press upon their chests. It was as if they had crossed an invisible threshold into a realm untouched by time. They soon entered a place known as the Willows, a vast marshland that exuded an eerie beauty. The trees here were twisted and contorted, their branches stretching outward like skeletal fingers clawing at the sky. The ground beneath their feet was soft and treacherous, a spongy carpet of grass and reeds that seemed to swallow their footsteps. With a sense of wonder, they set up camp on a small island, surrounded by the murky waters of the marsh. At first, they reveled in the strangeness of their surroundings, exchanging amused glances and chuckling at the peculiar shapes of the trees. But as dusk descended, a palpable unease settled over them. The whispers began, soft and elusive, weaving through the air like a delicate thread. The trees, now silhouetted against the fading light, appeared to sway and shift, even though there was no breeze to stir them. That first night was a tapestry of unsettling sounds. The friends huddled around their fire, the flickering flames casting long shadows that danced across the ground. Strange noises echoed through the woods, footsteps that seemed to approach, then retreat, leaving only silence in their wake. Shadows flitted between the trees, elusive and fleeting. The whispers morphed into voices, unintelligible yet laden with a strange urgency. The narrator, a man of introspection, felt a creeping dread unfurling within him, a knot of anxiety tightening in his gut. He tried to dismiss it, to convince himself it was merely the product of an overactive imagination. Yet he could feel the tension mirrored in his companion's eyes, wide with apprehension. As the sun rose on a new day, they resolved to explore the marsh, hoping to shake off the lingering sense of foreboding. Yet, as they ventured further into the willows, they encountered strange signs, circles of flattened grass that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, piles of stones arranged in unnatural patterns that defied explanation. The narrator felt the weight of unseen eyes upon them, a sensation that made the hair on the back of his neck stand on end. He caught glimpses of movement out of the corner of his eye, but whenever he turned to look, nothing was there. The landscape felt alive, and he could not shake the feeling that they were intruders in a world that was not their own. As night fell once more, the whispers returned, louder and more insistent. They seemed to call to them, a cacophony of laughter that was both mocking and inviting. The glowing lights appeared again in the distance, flickering like will-o'-the-wisps, leading them deeper into the heart of the marsh. The narrator's heart raced as he began to piece together the truth. The Willows were not merely a place, but a living entity, ancient and powerful, intertwined with the very fabric of reality. The trees and the marsh were imbued with a consciousness that transcended human understanding. They were not alone. The Willows were home to beings from another dimension, curious and watchful, yet harboring an undercurrent of danger. Panic set in as they attempted to leave, only to find that the river had changed. The currents were stronger, more turbulent, as if the water itself conspired to keep them trapped within the confines of the marsh. The sense of entrapment grew and fear gnawed at their resolve. One fateful night, the narrator awoke to find his companion missing. A surge of dread propelled him into the darkness, calling out his name, but the marsh swallowed his voice. He found him by the riverbank, pale and trembling, his eyes wide with terror. He spoke of a vision, a glimpse of something immense and terrible lurking beneath the surface of the water, a revelation that shattered the fragile veneer of their sanity. With a sense of desperation, the friends resolved to escape the clutches of the Willows. They paddled through the night, battling the relentless currents and the whispers that clawed at their minds. The shadows seemed to reach for them, but they pressed on, driven by the instinct to survive. At last, as dawn broke on the horizon, they emerged from the oppressive gloom of the marsh. The sun rose, casting golden light upon the waters, and with it the whispers faded into silence. Returning to civilization, they found themselves irrevocably changed. The laughter and camaraderie that had once defined their friendship felt distant, overshadowed by the haunting memories of the Willows. The narrator carried with him an unsettling knowledge, a part of him forever entwined with the dark marshland they had dared to explore. He became a reluctant guardian of the tale, warning others of the dangers that lurked within the Willows. A place where the boundaries of reality blurred, where the echoes of a cosmic horror lingered in the whispers of the trees. It was a place that, once encountered, could never truly be forgotten, a haunting reminder of the fragility of the human mind when confronted with the unfathomable depths of the unknown.